Good morning, everyone. Today I'll start with another topic of my lecture. In my previous lecture, I had discussed about HRD, climate, culture, the process related to it, and today I'll start with the key functions of HRD. That is, let's explore the key functions of HRD, starting with training and development, and then we talk about the strategic management. We talk about, there are a lot of aspects related to it when we are discussing about the various functions. Now, the first function we talk about HRD is training and development. Training is about teaching specific skills which is needed for the current job. So if an employee doesn't know how to use Excel, you train them. So sometimes when an employee enters an organization, he might be oblivious to the fact that what he is supposed to do. So at this point of time on the job, or it is very important that he should be trained, he should have a first hand experience. So, and then development is about later. When you talk about training and development, training is about now and development is about later, that is preparing employees for any kind of future roles. So one might send a very high potential junior managers to a leadership program even though they are not a leader yet. So the key difference here lies that training fills immediate gaps, and development builds future capabilities. So, and in fact, both are essentials. So, without training, employees can't do, you can't do today's work. So, without development, you have no pipeline for future leaders. So, training and development, it imparts specific job related skills. It bridges the gap between the current and desired performance, like safety training, compliance training, so on and so forth. The main focus of any training and development is trying to modify or enhance the knowledge, attitude, and the skills of the employees, and they're two significant. So, training mainly focuses on helping employee enhancing their skills so that they are able to do their job well. Like training program can be provided to the employees for handling a new machinery in organizations, and it can be also given to enhance their behavioral skill of the employees, or can training can be given to modify and change their attitude. So there could be training program on gender sensitization, right? So these would be certain aspects of training, whereas development has a very long term focus as mentioned earlier, and the developmental activities they cater to enhancing the competencies of the employees, keeping in mind the present as well as the future job related responsibilities. So, activities related to training and development can take varied forms in an organization. There can be orientation and induction program which provides on focusing, providing new employee with the information about the organization, its values, norms, job related activities and so on. And there can also be a training program, some technical aspects of the job or even skills. So, training and development activities, it involves coaching, mentoring, counseling, which can which can enhance the overall development of the employee. So, further training development programs can be created for employees at all levels, and so that they could improve, they could enhance their efficiency. Now, the next is a strategic management. It enhances the organizational performance. It prepares for future responsibilities like leadership programs, communication skill, decision making. Now, strategic management can be explained as decisions and actions which has been taken at the managerial level in order to bring about an alignment between the organization and the external environment. The main focus of strategic management is to enhance the organizational performance. So, strategic management involves various processes like formulation and implementation, and it is also important that the senior managers revisit and reassess the organizational missions, goals and objectives, strategies, programs and policies, varied resources, technology and so on. Further, they also need to assess the external environment that provide opportunities or pose as threat to the organizations. And based on the internal as well as external assessments, then the organizational aspects that need to be changed or modified are identified. So in this context, we can discuss about the, there has to be an alignment between the external and internal aspects. It's like external alignment is an alignment between organizational strategic plans and the external environments, whereas internal alignment denotes the alignment between the organizational strategic plan with the mission, objectives and goals, beliefs and values, so on and so forth in any organization. So an alignment is required amongst various subsystems of the organizations, like management practice, where treatment is meted to the employees and how the employees are managed, then the organizational structure, hierarchy and structure in the organization, human resource system, various HRM activities like selection, performance appraisal, training and so on and so forth, and other work related practices and systems, technological aspects, information system. So thus, for an organization to function effectively and achieve its goals, all the subsystems need to be aligned and need to be function in tandem with each other. The next is the career planning and organizational development. So the second set of functions include career planning and organization development. Again, career planning help employees understand their career path, their growth path. For example, if I say an HR assistant might learn that they can become HR generalist or HR manager, then HR director. So he has created a path, he has carved a niche when he has taken as an assistant, and then his or her aspirations would be to become the manager or then HR director. So this motivates the employees and reduces turnover. So succession planning ensures that when a key person leaves, someone is ready to step up. Okay, and then this is what the career enhancement would do. Then organizational development is about improving the entire organization, not just individuals. So this would include, changing company culture, restructuring teams, improving communication and managing major changes. So when a company merges with another, organization development helps integrate the two cultures. So the HRD works at both individual learning or individual level, that is training, career planning, and organizational level, that is the organizational development. So if we talk about career planning and development, it helps employees to enhance their career path, identifying promotional or promotion opportunities, and then succession planning, whereas the organizational development improves the overall organizational health, changing culture, processes and systems, and then team building, change management as well as conflict resolution. So organization development can be explained as a process that involves enhancement of organizational effectiveness and increasing the well-being of the members of the organization, and this is done with the help of varied intervention strategies which are based on the concept of behavioral sciences. Behavioral sciences. So the emphasis of organizational development is on both macro and micro organizational changes. So macro organizational changes focuses on the organization, whereas micro organizational changes focuses on the individual, teams and groups in the organization. So the HRD professionals, they play a very significant role in not only bringing about the changes but also in developing suitable intervention strategies. So when I was talking about the career management and career development, yet another significant aspect of HRD is there in terms of promoting career development of the employees. So as we have been witnessing that, stressing and again that the focus of HRD is on enhancing the competencies of the individuals so that they are able to do their present as well as future job responsibilities adequately, and that's why career management and development can be termed in accordance with this with this aspect of HRD. So in fact career development is considered is to be a continuous process, which involves the progression of the employee through various stages that has been characterized. So thus we can say that HRD professionals, or they play a very significant role in strategic management, and not only to participate in the strategic but in the process of the organization, providing it's in a nutshell we can say that the HRD plays a very significant role in strategic management. They need not only participate in the strategic management process of the organization, but also provide training and education to the line managers regarding the concept of this, and they also play a very significant role in aligning the organizational goals and strategies with that of the individual goals and strategy. Then how human resource development considered as a factor of economic growth. Now, it is often overlooked that human resource development can play a very significant role in a nation's economic growth, and this vital connection between HRD and economic advancement manifests through various channels, making human resource development an essential strategy for national prosperity, which again also can be termed as an important function, that how they are contributing into the overall country's gross domestic product. And so there are various aspects like skill development, talent utilization, technological adaptation, labor mobility, social and economic equality. If you look into the skill development part of it, one of the fundamental ways HRD continues to economic growth is by enhancing the skills and the abilities of the workforce. So, a well trained and skilled labor force is more productive, innovative, and efficient, leading to increased output and economic progress. Then, if you look into the talent utilization, human resource development ensures optimal utilization of human resources by aligning individual skills and competencies with suitable job roles. So, this results in lower unemployment rates and higher job satisfaction, contributing to economic stability as well as growth. And then technological adaptation. In an era of rapid technological advancements, human resource development plays a very significant, a crucial role in equipping the workforce with the skills to adapt to new technologies. And this ability to embrace and utilize new technologies not only boosts productivity but also spurs innovation, driving economic growth. Then there is labor mobility. Through training and development initiatives, human resource development enhances labor mobility. Employees acquire new skills and broaden their knowledge base, allowing them to transition across different industries and job roles. This flexibility in the labor market promotes economic dynamism as well as growth. Then social and economic equality. HRD, that is human resource development, also contributes to social and economic equality. So, by offering equal opportunities for learning and growth, it promotes workforce diversity and inclusion, and this leads to a more balanced and equitable distribution of wealth, fostering overall economic development. Then we will discuss about the scope. This has, we had already mentioned about, how it contributes to the economic growth of a nation. Now we'll discuss about the scope of HRD. Now, scope of HRD, it covers industrial, individual level, team level, as well as organizational level. The scope of human resource development is quite comprehensive, and it operates at three levels. At the individual level, it focuses on the performance feedback, telling employees or instructing employees that what they do well and where they need improvement. It identifies training needs through assessments, it creates career development plans, and provides coaching and mentoring to the employees. So at the individual level, it is very important to mold the employee according to the needs and expectations of the employees. There's a continuous performance as well as potential appraisal, which is done in order to guide them, to coach them so that they can perform well. Then at the team level, human resource development facilitates team building, helping groups work together more effectively, and it improves communication, resolves conflict before they might escalate, you know and so teamwork, leadership, team building, in fact the team members, they should express their any kind of issues, or they should work in tandem so that they can achieve the organizational goals and objectives. And at the organization level, this is the broadest scope. Organizational development interventions might include restructuring departments, implementing new values, or managing a major digital transformation. So, in fact, culture building means creating an environment where learning is valued. Change management help employees adapt to new ways of working, and the ultimate goal is to create a learning organization where continuous improvement is part of everyone's job. So this three level approach makes HRD quite unique as well as powerful. Then the various scope or the scope of HRD particularly enhances or further it looks into the fact that there is an improved productivity. So human resource development, it plays a very effective role in improving the overall productivity of any business organization. It enhances the capabilities of personnel by providing them extensive techniques which would lead to their overall development. This is considered to be a very systematic and planned approach which focuses on maintaining proper work culture under which the employees would deliver their roles efficiently and resulting in higher productivity for the enterprise. Then the scope also talks about that human resource development, it actually facilitates employees growth. So this is concerned with the overall development of human resource which has been deployed at distinct roles within a corporation. So human resource development, they plan and implement various programs which is aimed at improving the knowledge, skills and abilities of the employees, and they are trained and counseled under the guidance of subject experts in order to make them competent for upcoming opportunities. Then human resource development also looks into the fact that one has to or rather makes effort to develop a positive work environment for a business, creating healthy relationships within the organization. It develops a proper communication network through which superiors as well as the subordinates are easily able to share their ideas and view with one another. Then employees are also invited for participation in decision making, which avoids any kind of conflicts or disputes, thereby creating strong relationship among all members of organizations. Then HRD has that kind of approach where one can acquire right talent. So it is one of an effective human resource development is an effective tool which enables organizations in spotting and onboarding the right talent. So individuals are in fact timely evaluated properly in accordance with the job requirements before deploying them on different roles, and human resources are trained and guided for making them qualified enough to deliver the assigned duties appropriately. And then lastly, when we talk about the scope of HRD, it can also be said that human resource development motivate employees towards their roles by doing performance appraisals. So employees are continuously, they are appreciated and rewarded on the basis of their contributions in overall productivity of business. In fact, they are motivated to perform efficiently by providing various financial and non-financial incentives. So employees, in view of getting rewards, work with full spirit for over performing in comparison to other members. Now, this was all about the presentation related to or the lectures related to the human resource development functions and scope. I had discussed in detail about that how human resource development can extensively enhances productivity, talks about the career enhancement, and all the three levels are important, that is the human level, the individual level, at the team level, and the overall organizational level. Thank you, everyone.